How's it going, guys? Wait a second. Didn't I have a mustache? Oh, right, I shaved it. I shaved it. Huh. Just like the Colts thought that Matt Ryan would shave their season. Aha. Welcome to Shoop Sports, everybody. I'm your host, Shoop, and today we're going to dissect the next team on the cutting table. Whoop! That was a horseshoe. Yes, the Indianapolis Colts, a once proud franchise engineered by quarterbacks like Peyton Manning and Andrew Luck, have been anything but lucky since the Luck Man lucked out of the Luck League. Yes, Andrew Luck's retirement has caused shockwaves to the Colts. Ever since he retired, the Colts have now had different starting quarterbacks every single season. Going back to Jacoby Brissett, now we got Philip Rivers, and then Carson Wentz. So who's on the table today? Yep, you already heard from the intro, but Mr. Matt Ryan, the unshavable. Yes, Matt Ryan, former rich man in Atlanta who nearly won a Super Bowl but couldn't quite do it, was now tasked with doing the exact same thing with this Colts team. But, I mean, there's optimism for this Colts team. They have a very elite defense, headlined by DeForest Buckner. Stephon Gilmore was expected to make a big impact. They got Shaq Leonard, Darius Leonard. He keeps changing his name. I have no idea. And they also have the highest paid offensive line in the league. You know, a lot of teams struggle on the offensive line, so the Colts have that going for them. So at least Matt Ryan will have some time in the pocket. This is where he's supposed to come now. At least Matt Ryan will have some time.
Go at Lucas Oil Stadium. Midfield is where the Colts start this play, but it's a sack, a strip, a fumble, and a recovery.
Okay, so preview of how the season went, but let's get into it. Yes, Matt Ryan was sacked very few starts that he made. But he didn't make all the starts. So after some embarrassing losses in which Ryan and the Colts tied the Texans and got blanked by the Jaguars in Jacksonville, and then you go to an ugly Thursday night football game against the Broncos. But at least, they at least won. Thank God they won that, because that was tumultuous to watch. The Colts decided to make their first change. Coach Frank Reich, then Coach Frank Reich, turned over to Sam Ehlinger. And what did Sam Ehlinger do? Not much better. In fact, he was so bad that he got Coach Frank Reich fired. Now, in this stratosphere of head coaches available, looking on your own roster throughout the NFL, who are we going with? Yes, there is a mail on Saturday, huh? Yes, Jeff Saturday. Colts legend. Let's get that out of the way. Super Bowl winner. Currently an ESPN analyst. And the Colts pulled him out of the set. And owner Jim Irsay, drunk from his club room seat, was like, yeah, the fans will go like this one, huh? Well, this move did not go without criticism. Everybody across the NFL were screaming, racism, terrible choice. They didn't look at anybody else. And I mean, honestly, all those people are correct. It didn't look like it at first when the Colts upset the Raiders in Saturday's first game as a Colts head coach. And then the Colts go on to be competitive with Philly. And now all of a sudden you're wondering, oh crap. Like, maybe the Colts have revolutionized the head coaching process. The Colts have done something that has never been done before. Pulling random people off the street. Now teams are going to be dragging homeless people off the street, and they're going to be coaching NFL teams. And oh my God, the Colts made head coaching so cheap, and they just went on a huge losing streak. And that about sums it up again. I mean, Saturday was coach, and it went back to Matt Ryan, and then back to Ehlinger, and then they went to Nick Foles, which ensued in one of the most embarrassing stretches for any team in the NFL this season, in which Foles played the Chargers on Monday night and looked like the second coming of Ryan Leaf, and then got to start again against the New York Giants. And apparently his teammates had enough because he was sacked so hard he was convulsing on the ground, and Giants Kayvon Thibodeau, douchey as it may be, doing snow angels next to him. Not a single guy on that offensive line helped him. Yep, that same offensive line. These were their salaries. Yep, making the most money out of any O-line in the league. This is how many sacks he gave up. How does that make sense? Quentin Nelson, I love you, man. I think a lot of people regard him as one of the best linemen in the league, but he sure as hell didn't play like it this season, and it better be known. But he's not the only one. That entire O-line should be ashamed of themselves. Offseason needs. Offseason needs for the Colts starts at the most obvious position, quarterback. The Colts have the number 4 overall pick, and they have already made their intention clear that they're not going to go round 5 this season. I mean, who's next on the chopping block at this point? Is it Joe Flacco? Jimmy Garoppolo? Ken Dorsey? Yeah, that's a name you haven't heard in a while. Yeah, he's a coach, but he did play quarterback. Anyway, the Colts need a quarterback real bad. And it looks like CJ Stroud at number 4 could be a good fit. But the Colts may be forced to move up to get Stroud or Bryce Young, especially if another team tries to leapfrog them to the number 1 overall pick. We already know that the Texans are going to take the quarterback, so beware, Colts. Otherwise, for the Colts, it seems like all that money paid to offensive line didn't work out, which is really unfortunate because they're owed a lot of money. But the good news is that you don't have to pay them that much money. Again, you can get cheap options in the draft, which is what the Colts should do to bring in some competition to light some fire under these guys' asses. Plus, Jonathan Taylor, he was very disappointing this season. There's too much talent back in that backfield for them to waste it like that. And then, where else for the Colts? Well, they're pretty stacked on defense, but their pass rush could stand the benefit, so they could use an outside rush guy. Stephon Gilmore, he's good, but he's still on the older side. They could use a replacement at corner. But defense isn't as much of a priority as much as just getting depth pieces. The Colts need is a damn franchise quarterback and not another Walmart version. Oh, and they need a coach with maybe a tad bit more experience than Saturday. Is that too much to ask for? Hopefully Jim Irsay has gotten out of his seat and stopped chugging down those Kirkland lights. Yes, I know they're cheap, and I know that there's no difference between them and Bud Light if you close your eyes. But you gotta put it down at some point. Anyway, that's my video on the Colts. If you liked it, subscribe. If you didn't like it, I guess don't subscribe. But you're here. I mean, if you're watching this, then and you're not subscribed, then you need to go join Jim Irsay in the booth, which actually sounds kind of fun. I'll be back.